On May 30, 2024, the Supreme Court delivered a unanimous decision that will have a lasting impact on the interpretation of free speech rights in the United States. This historic ruling was closely watched by legal experts, advocacy groups, and citizens across the nation, all eager to see how the highest court would address the boundaries of government power in relation to individual expression. The decision strongly reinforces America's deep-rooted commitment to free speech, a principle enshrined in the First Amendment and cherished as a cornerstone of democracy. Across the country, people celebrated the ruling as a victory for open dialogue and the protection of dissenting voices. The justices ruled that government officials cannot use their regulatory power or influence to suppress speech they personally find objectionable or controversial. This means that even indirect attempts to silence certain viewpoints, such as pressuring private companies or organizations, are prohibited under the Constitution. The case at the center of this decision, NRA versus Vullo, highlights the ongoing importance of protecting free expression from both direct and indirect forms of government censorship. It serves as a reminder that freedom of speech must be vigilantly defended, especially in complex legal and political environments. The Supreme Court's ruling clarifies that First Amendment protections extend not only to direct government actions, but also to situations where officials attempt to coerce or pressure private companies into silencing certain viewpoints. This expansion of protection is especially significant in today's interconnected world, where private entities play a major role in public discourse. This decision is a crucial reminder that government power should never be used to silence opposing views, regardless of how unpopular or controversial those views may be. It upholds the idea that a healthy democracy depends on the free exchange of ideas, even when those ideas challenge the status quo. By ensuring that all voices can be heard, without fear of government retaliation, the ruling helps maintain a vibrant marketplace of ideas. It safeguards public discourse, allowing citizens to debate, disagree, and ultimately shape the future of their society together. The court's decision significantly strengthens the First Amendment against subtle and indirect forms of censorship, especially in a regulated economy where government influence can be far-reaching. It stands as a powerful affirmation of the enduring value of free speech in American life. The case known as NRA versus Vullo began with a series of actions taken by Maria Vullo, who at the time was serving as the superintendent of the New York State Department of Financial Services, one of the most influential regulatory agencies in the country. Vullo's role put her at the center of New York's oversight of banks, insurance companies, and other financial institutions, giving her significant authority over how these entities conducted business within the state. As superintendent, Vullo was responsible for ensuring that financial institutions complied with state laws and regulations. Her tenure coincided with a period of heightened national debate over gun control, especially following several high-profile mass shootings. In the aftermath of the tragic Parkland school shooting, Vullo, who was known for her critical stance toward the National Rifle Association, launched investigations into insurance programs that were endorsed and promoted by the NRA. These programs, sometimes referred to as carry guard, provided liability coverage to gun owners, and quickly became a focal point of controversy. The NRA responded by alleging that Vullo's actions were not simply regulatory, but rather a targeted campaign designed to punish the organization for its outspoken advocacy of gun rights. They claimed that Vullo's efforts went beyond normal oversight and crossed into the realm of political retaliation. According to the NRA, Vullo issued public guidance and held private meetings with executives from major banks and insurance companies, during which she allegedly pressured these financial institutions to cut business ties with the NRA and its affiliates. The NRA argued that this pressure was both direct and indirect, creating a chilling effect on their ability to operate. The NRA contended that Vullo's actions amounted to an unconstitutional use of government power, aiming to silence their message and suppress their advocacy for Second Amendment rights. They framed the dispute as a fundamental free speech issue, raising questions about the limits of government influence over private sector relationships. The case ultimately reached the Supreme Court, which was tasked with determining whether Vullo's conduct constituted legitimate regulatory enforcement, or if it crossed the line into unconstitutional coercion and viewpoint discrimination. The justices had to weigh the balance between government oversight and the protection of constitutional rights. The outcome of this case would have far-reaching implications, not only for the NRA and similar advocacy groups, but also for how government officials interact with private entities across the nation. The ruling could set a precedent for the boundaries of government authority in regulating the relationships between advocacy organizations and the financial sector. The Supreme Court has drawn a crucial line between what it considers permissible persuasion and what crosses the boundary into unconstitutional coercion. This distinction is fundamental to protecting free speech and ensuring that government officials do not overstep their authority when interacting with private parties or organizations. Justice Sotomayor clarified that while officials are allowed to express their own opinions, they cannot use the weight of their office to intimidate or pressure private individuals or groups into suppressing speech. Expressing a viewpoint is one thing, but leveraging government power to silence dissent is another matter entirely. The court established a clear standard for identifying coercion, emphasizing that both the context and the content of government communications must be examined. It's not just about what is said, but how and under what circumstances it is conveyed. In the Vullo case, the NRA plausibly alleged that actions taken by the New York official amounted to veiled threats, essentially warning financial institutions to cut ties with the NRA or risk facing regulatory scrutiny. This kind of indirect pressure can be just as damaging as direct censorship. The Supreme Court's ruling makes it clear that while government officials are free to participate in public debate and advocate for their positions, they cannot use their official power to punish or retaliate against those who refuse to comply with their wishes. This principle is vital because it ensures that regulatory power is not misused as a tool for political retribution or to silence opposing viewpoints. The integrity of our democratic system depends on this safeguard. The decision reinforces a core constitutional value. The government cannot do indirectly what it is explicitly forbidden from doing directly. This prevents officials from circumventing the First Amendment through backdoor tactics. Ultimately, this ruling protects all groups, regardless of their beliefs or affiliations, from being unfairly targeted by officials who may disagree with their message. It upholds the principle that free speech is a right for everyone, not just those in power. The Supreme Court's decision in NRA versus Vullo impacts how officials interact with regulated industries. The ruling is particularly relevant to the media, heavily regulated by the FCC. Vullo's precedent offers broadcasters a legal framework against government pressure to alter content. Officials must now ensure public statements aren't perceived as threats. Media companies gain protection against pressure aimed at punishing them for content. The ruling affects all industries under significant government oversight, rebalancing relationships with regulators. It ensures businesses can make decisions without sacrificing constitutional rights. NRA v. Vullo sets a landmark precedent in First Amendment law. The ruling offers a clear roadmap for challenging officials who use power to silence speech. It establishes that implicit threats can be unconstitutional if intended to coerce. The decision serves as a warning to officials that their communications will be scrutinized for coercion. It encourages governance through public debate, not regulatory abuse. The ruling empowers private entities to resist improper government pressure. It ensures a diverse marketplace of ideas, protecting free expression from government overreach. The NRA vs. Vullo ruling recalibrates the balance of power between government and private sectors, setting a significant legal precedent. It checks regulatory power, ensuring it's not used to enforce political conformity or suppress dissenting opinions in any form. The decision protects private businesses from politically motivated pressure and undue government influence over their operations. It clarifies that government can't compel companies to align with its views on controversial or divisive issues. The ruling preserves regulatory integrity and private enterprise autonomy, supporting a fair business environment. It fosters a resilient democracy where diverse viewpoints contribute to public discourse and civic engagement. The decision safeguards free expression, allowing society to address difficult issues and hold those in power accountable. The Supreme Court's unanimous ruling in NRA versus Vullo is significant. It shows that protecting speech from government coercion is a foundational American principle. The 9-0 decision provides authority and stability, creating a lasting precedent. It depoliticizes the issue, affirming First Amendment protections for all speech. The ruling clarifies permissible government conduct and strengthens public discourse foundations. It ensures government can't indirectly silence voices, preserving vibrant debate. This case will serve as a bulwark for free speech, shaping constitutional law for future generations.